Hey fire signs, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot and welcome to your cards for the mid-month. I'm combining them due to the fact that I had a little bit of a COVID scare this week. I was camping last weekend and I caught a sinus infection, but bad timing. I also found out I was kind of exposed. I had to wait to get tested. I was pretty sick, but everything is fine. However, I have to combine these last 6 readings so I could start working on the July readings. So I apologize. I'm going to pull some extra cards and go into a little more detail for you guys. But this is covering Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, all 3 signs, okay? So we have an eclipse coming up. Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. Things are pretty active right now. There's so many retrogrades. We're still definitely closing out cycles, and we're kind of still in that unknown. We're all operating with a sense of hope and faith, right? As you can see, mundane astrology especially, the outside world might seem a little bit crazy right now. And unfortunately, that's the energy that will remain for most of the rest of the year. In fact, it's probably going to pick up. So it's really important, especially for my fire signs, as Mars moves into Aries, that you all find a way to keep yourself a little bit grounded. You know, energy is easily triggered right now. Our tempers are high. We're definitely dealing with a lot of emotions, and I know that my fire signs have the best of intentions, but what you really want to make sure you're not doing this month is contributing to the insanity. You know, stepping into a logical point of view, stepping into, you know, Venus is now getting ready to station direct, thankfully. There's change in the air, and if we could find a way to talk calmly and discover more aspects, educate ourselves, look back at the past. You know, I keep saying it's not a coincidence. Hindsight is 2020. And so this is a critical year for us to gather what we've learned from our past and apply it to our new foundations. It's extremely important that we stay in a logical place. Now, Cancer energy, as the sun moves into Cancer, is not an easy energy for you. It could cause, you know, the urge to have to protect yourself. You have to get they're showing me different things right now. So for my fire signs, I think it's important to understand that we're in rocky terrain. We're also making aspects to Saturn at this time, which could cause delays. Those delays are coming for good reason. Now, the first card you got in your environment is the 12th house. Always a tricky placement with the 12th house because it talks to us about the subconscious, about the things that we don't know. It's also a time when the veil is very thin between the realms. We could be getting a lot of guidance from our ancestors, guidance through dreams. I've heard so many people saying lately that their dreams are just incredible and insane. And yes, they are. And yes, they do hold messages. If you can meditate on that energy and dig deeper, you'll see a purpose for these dreams and what they're trying to tell you. 12th house is a house of isolation, so you may be dealing with a little bit of separation in the later weeks of June. That 12th house, so I can't ignore the cycles of the moon within this picture, meaning that whatever this eclipse and this Cancer energy brings, ultimately, what comes to the surface can be healed, and that's the purpose of the Cancer energy. It's the energy of the mother, and a lot of us have to be our own mother, our own comforter, our own nurturer at this time. We're also being asked to use a great deal of compassion for others. Okay, I'm just going to take this top one that popped out. 4th house, roots. 12th house, 4th house. So your 4th house is the Cancer energy as well. The 4th house is all about our home, our family, our environments. It could be about our parents, how we grew up, old childhood wounds being revealed. This could talk about, relocation. And I'm, of course, going to pull some cards. Then we're going to clarify those cards. So we're going to get a lot more information. But ultimately, what these 2 cards are telling me is you're finding balance between your roots, your emotional being, and what lies beneath. So there could be a lot of things coming to the surface, things being exposed, secrets coming out, truths coming out. Now, I'm going to pull some cards right now to talk about the energy. What is bringing this to the surface? What's bubbling underneath? What is the underbelly of the issues that will come out during this eclipse energy for my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius? Okay. We have the Hierophant, the 5 of Pentacles, and Strength. So with these cards, the Hierophant can talk to me about your ability to have faith, to know that there's a spiritual reason if you are undergoing any kind of a loss at this time. You're going to have to really rely on your strength and your higher vision for what you're going to be struggling through. If you're worried about finances, of course, many of us are, we're in a period of instability, and a period of instability can really test your faith. But I'll be the first to tell you that when all of these planets are retrograde, we are definitely being tested. You are being tested now in your faith for the universe. What happens is the universe stops allowing things to kind of flow. It creates delays, stops. There could even be, fears creeping around people not agreeing with you, people not going down the same path you want to go on. This does play a lot into our relationships as a Cancer-Capricorn axis. Going into our relationships and seeing how others are affecting us, not allowing outside worldly issues to dictate our inner strength and what we have to offer. So yeah, we're being tested. It's a period of time when you have to really keep looking for the bigger picture, the higher perspective on everything. When the world is kind of going to the shitter, you have to know that change is necessary and to not operate out of a place of fear. They definitely want you to operate out of a place of faith. Now, the Hierophant can also symbolize a commitment, a contract of some sort. And the 5 of Pentacles next to the Strength card can also suggest a need to go it alone. You may be walking away from relationships at this time, simply because they no longer fit who you are. I've talked about this in a lot of readings as well. We've changed. Our frequency is different. Our vibration is different. We've been through certain things. We've seen things that have changed us. They've changed our mind. And when that happens to us, we have to look at the people surrounding us, and you have to kind of wonder, does this person really fit who I am? Is this person a good reflection of who I want to be, who I inspire to be? This could be, and listen, I'm not saying to go out and end relationships because somebody has a different political view. Absolutely not. In fact, I think if there's a time ever in which people should come together and share their views in a respectful manner, it is now. I mean, we need community, we need communication. More than ever, we need cooperation between different sides because we need to hear each other. In order to hear each other, we have to cut out the noise. We have to cut out the distractions. We have to get down to basics. And that's what this symbolizes to me, is getting quiet. Not being so afraid about what it is you have to lose. Having faith that the universe is delivering an important message to you and getting quiet so you could hear it. Following and honoring your intuition is critical at this time. Let's take a look at the past energy. Because now, eclipses are usually culminations. Nothing ever happens as a surprise, right? You know, anybody will tell you if they've been through an eclipse and it caused a breakup or the end of a marriage, it's probably not what came out suddenly. It's probably something that's been brewing below the surface for a long amount of time. Now, we've been going through this eclipse cycle for 18 to 20 months now. You've been in this energy for a while. And we're closing this cycle out, so it's always good to take a look at your past. I got one card that jumped out, which is the Nine of Cups. You have to pull some surrounding cards. My Nine of Cups is your wishes coming true. It's a wish fulfillment card, but sometimes yes. We're definitely closing out cycles here. I think with these eclipses, my fire signs have learned to embrace what it is they truly want, to become emotionally authentic. When I say that, that means that you begin to choose relationships that fulfill you emotionally. You begin to pick jobs that fulfill you emotionally. Your emotional well-being becomes more of a priority. It's not so much about pleasing others anymore for my fire signs. They have to get back into the groove of making things happen. You may have felt sidelined, but it was a good time out because it helped you to understand what your priorities truly are. Nine of Cups, 10 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. That's a lot of 9 and 10s for 3 cards. That's a lot of ending cycles. No longer carrying burdens that, like I said, distract you from what your life purpose is. And I think that's a big deal with this eclipse. I think that's a really big deal with all of this planetary energy being at the level that we've never experienced before in our lifetime, certainly. It's so important for us to understand our purpose. I can't get that through enough to people, and I hear a lot of people suddenly really starting to question. You know, it's not like a midlife crisis thing anymore to wonder, am I on the right path? Is this what I'm meant to do with my life? We're ending a period of time, believe it or not, and it seems far-fetched right now. But we're ending a period of time where we are based too much on consumerism. Our priorities need to be shifted to what truly matters. You know, some of us have been out working 9 to 5 jobs we don't like. Maybe those hours are more like 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then in our spare time, we're trying to run a family, honor our passions, work out, be healthy. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Our expectations for ourselves is a lot. And there's also the need to be perfect in society that has to go. It becomes less about the kind of car we drive, the kind of house we live in, and more about, are we happy? As humans, are we happy? Are we in the right relationships? Have we been given enough time to nurture those relationships, you know? Maybe we are in the right place. Maybe we are with the right people, but we don't even know these people anymore. These people that are so close to us, you know, the people that live in our house. Maybe there's a need to change those priorities so that you could get to know each other better again. The need for perfection really pops out to me. That we've all been struggling way too hard to make other people happy, to keep up with the Joneses, to make everything look like everything's okay. Like we're okay. You know, that famous thing, somebody that loves you says, hey, how you doing? And you might be crumbling and falling apart, but it's so socially inappropriate to say, oh, man, you know what? I'm not really doing well. Everyone expects you to say, oh, I'm great. How are you? You know? And I don't think we're hiding those imperfections. I think we're willing to look at them. And maybe it's those imperfections that are the building blocks to the purpose in our life. Let's take a look at how this energy is crowning you. Okay. These came out together. Ace of Swords, Nine of Swords. That's a lot of swords. That's a lot of noise in your head. The Nine of Swords to me is the noisiest. Remember, I told you we're looking for balance. The universe is trying to get you to focus on the things you can have faith in, the things you can rely on. This energy, this is fear, anxiety. We don't want to manifest from here. Now, if this is coming through as an energy where you're fearing some kind of communication, maybe you are afraid to face the truth. You know, the Ace of Swords is always my card of truth. And the Nine of Swords tells me that you feel like you don't have the strength to look at it. You don't have the strength to acknowledge it. And that's a problem. This is a problem. The problem is you don't have the faith in yourself. And so all of this comes bubbling up so you can renew your faith in yourself. I'm going to pull one more card for this. There could be communication coming in that really brings you a lot of stress. But I just feel like it's coming from a place you're expecting bad news. Now, I was just telling my friend the other day, every time I hear that notification, that specific bing on my phone that I know is a news alert, I have become a slave to it. I know I have, because I'm just continually watching new things happening one after another. As an astrologist, you know, there's a level of, hey, we saw this coming, we knew this was coming. But I have to cut it off sometimes because I get caught up in it. I know that change has to happen, but that doesn't mean I have to be a slave to it. Let me see if I can get one more card. What is this Ace of Swords? Spirit, what is this Ace of Swords for my Leo, Sag, and Aries? King of Swords. Let me see if I can get one more. Here we go. What you're afraid to talk about isn't nearly as scary as you think. You might have an air sign that you're dealing with, Leo. You are Leo, Aries, or Sag. You may be dealing with another air sign, which would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You might be hesitating having this conversation because you don't know the outcome. You don't know how they feel. But they have a lot of love for you. And if you could get yourself out of this 9 of Swords kind of mentality where everything's going to fall apart, everything's going to go wrong, you're going to find a lot of strength and resolve. It could even put you into that King of Swords status where you gain control of your life. Either way, no matter how this conversation goes, an Ace of Cups is a new beginning with clarity and love, especially when it's surrounded by a King of Swords and an Ace of Swords. This is your truth. It's leading you to your truth. So now's not a time to be afraid. Let's take a look at what's coming up in the future for you. I feel like those cards wanted to come out. Okay. There's definitely a new start. There's definitely a new start with somebody. If you've recently broken up with somebody, if you've recently lost a job, do not spend a lot of time in the 5 of Pentacles energy because things are going to return. They're going to return really fast. We are in heavy manifesting mode. We are being divinely guided at this time. The veil is thin. 12th house, you are protected. 4th house, the divine wants to strengthen your foundations. And so whatever situation you may feel stressed about is really undergoing a transformation with a stronger foundation. Knight of Pentacles, it will not move quickly. It's coming slow, which might be a bit of an issue for my fire signs, especially when Mars is in your sign and you're ready to go. You're feeling the heat, kind of. I know it's hard because we have all this energy, and yet all of the planets are retrograde. We're not supposed to be making a lot of advancement right now. We're more or less getting information from the past, seeing things from a new perspective, and gaining info for the future. We're closing out old cycles. We're stepping into the new. The new isn't pretty yet. It's scary because we don't know it. We don't see it. And so we're all being asked to take a little bit of a leap of faith. What I can tell you is what you have manifested, the things that you've put in order in your life. Jupiter retrograde meeting with Pluto retrograde at the end of the month. Decisions will be made. Justice will be sought. There will be balance. If you lose a relationship, a new one will come in. One that fits your new personality, your new passion, your new frequency. One that fits and complements you better. And one that feels more stable. Do not be afraid of the new beginnings being offered to you now. If somebody's coming into your life, feel free to explore. You know, the Ace of Wands next to the Knight of Pentacles, those, you know, that's very Venusian, very Taurus, very sensual. You know, there could be somebody coming in your life that is even, dare I say, more sexually compatible for you. Somebody who's willing to give and take as much as you, the reciprocity, the balance. You know, it could be a relationship, everything being retrograde, especially Mercury. It could be a relationship that comes back from the past for you to resolve. Maybe they want to offer you something. You know, justice can always be somebody coming back and saying, I made the wrong decision. And it's up to you to, you know, honor that and make your decisions. But you're in a really good place right now. There is no need to fear what is coming. It's what's meant to be for you. 12th house, 4th house is so karmic. It's where your karma from your past meets the realms, and everybody is helping each other to get you in your place of destiny. I did, because I had to combine you guys, I'm going to pull a couple more cards just to make it a little bit more fair, because I really do feel bad I couldn't do you guys individually. I hope my voice isn't driving you nuts. I know I sound so nasally and stuffed up. I'm going to pull some animal cards for you. Okay, Aries first. What is the energy my Aries should take on in the last half of June? What is the energy that my Aries should express in the last half of June? Aries, horse. So there's a lot of wisdom this card and a lot of movement, but pay close attention. You see the rainbow coming in between the two eyes there. There's enlightenment. This tells me specifically that if you are having dreams right now, messages from the other side, if you see, or, you know, you're in a situation where maybe you can get a private reading, work with a psychic, even working with a therapist, you know, kind of, you know, even some practices like tapping could help you. You want to stimulate that crown chakra, that third eye. Intuition, meditation will serve you well, because you're getting pulled in a direction and there's a lot of force. Okay, Aries, you have a lot of power behind you right now. And it's important for you to check in, to continue to follow your intuition and allow yourself to be guided. Do not sell yourself short. Do not settle for things that do not serve you. You know, entertaining old relationships that you know are toxic is just a waste of time. The universe is giving you the strength to move forward, and you have the tools. All you have to do is listen to your intuition. Leo. Get an energy card for my Leos, please. Okay, they're going with this one. Crocodile. Leos, lay low. Cool down. The crocodile knows when to strike, knows when his opportunity is coming in. The crocodile stays cool from the heat. It always reminds me, you know, like they keep their bellies always in the cool water, and that's probably a good idea. There may be times over the next couple of weeks where things get pretty intense, and it may really pull at you to kind of lash out. So watch your temper. And again, it's another one of trusting that intuition. Look at the yellow and the green in his eye. There's solar plexus energy and heart chakra energy. There's faith in yourself that you'll know when to make the right move. Until then, lay low, conserve your energy, and wait for the moment to strike. You'll know when, Leo. And my Saggies. What is the energy my Saggies need to be in for the last couple weeks of June? And we're down to like a couple days now. Whoa, okay. Butterfly, Saggy, you're growing. You're growing. And for you, I get the message that things are a lot lighter. Saggies, you may have you might have walked away from a relationship. You might have walked away from toxic friendships. You may have walked away from a job that you couldn't stand anymore, and that's okay. The universe wants you to know it's okay to travel lightly right now. It's okay to spread your wings and fly to new territory. You've done your transformation. You're really coming into your own. You know, I see a lot of beauty and grace with this, and I feel like you're starting to see your own beauty and grace with the card of the butterfly. And then others may really be paying attention to you now. And it doesn't matter, you know. The butterfly isn't afraid. It doesn't do things in order to entertain others. It just simply is, and it is just simply beautiful. And it travels lightly. So feel free to be yourself and travel lightly. Feel free to explore. Now, I know travel is maybe not all that possible right now. Maybe there's travel within the ethereal realms. Maybe you're just dreaming. But it's okay to explore. Explore and know that now is the time for you to learn. Very beautiful. All right, I'm going to pull one more card for you guys. These are out of the universe has your back. I actually got them for the July readings, but I just thought I'd pull a couple for you guys. So again, let's go back to my Aries. What oracle card do my Aries need for the month, for the end of June? End of June, please. Okay, Aries. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. That makes sense. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Aries, you're definitely seeing things from a different perspective. You're definitely stepping out of being stressed and finding strength in yourself. And I think that's going to change a lot of how you see the world. You may be really changing your perspectives about things. Maybe you're changing your mind about a political stance you've had for a long time. Maybe you're starting to see that people are listening to what you've been saying for a long time. Either way, that perspective is very important. What you're going through now is extremely important, and it plays such a big role in who you are to become in all of this. Leos. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Crocodile card, Leos. And now this. When I talk about, you know, things that live below the surface, card of Leo came out. 5 of Pentacles. You may be struggling with your faith at this time. There may be people or things or situations that are triggering you, and you have to be careful. You have to lay low, and instead of attacking those around you or trying to make things right, now's the time to just go ahead and feel. Feel the loss. Feel maybe all of the things you've been suppressing, you didn't want to look at. You didn't want to look at the disappointments. Maybe there's things you weren't willing to forgive yourself about. Maybe there's things you weren't willing to forgive your parents for. And that at this time, if you lay low and you don't react with anger, and instead you soften, that you can make a lot of changes and grow a lot of relationships in a better way in your life. It comes from allowing yourself to feel. Okay, and my Saggies. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. This goes so well with the butterfly. That's it. My Saggies, you're good. Go out, have fun. Now, again, I just can't express enough, especially with the situation I was in. COVID is not gone, it's not over. So if you're going out and having a good time, just know that, you have a social responsibility. Be safe and be smart about things, but go and explore new territory. Travel lightly. Don't be afraid to try new things. I think this is going to be a really exciting couple of weeks for my Saggies. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to start the July reading soon. I'll get them out as soon as possible, and I hope everyone does really well through this eclipse season. Lots of love. Bye.